All right, good day. Today's total body fitness is going to be core focused. So it's not just your abdominal muscles in the front, but it is the side muscles in your torso, as well as your back muscles and your glute muscles. We're going to do spine stabilization moves, as well as some movement with twisting and bending forward and backwards. So let's get it going. So I always like to start with a twist to warm up. Let the arms relax on your body, taking any tension out that you might be holding, just getting some movement and blood flow. And then bringing your feet together, we're going to do some shoulder rolls. Shoulders come up and back and around. And then starting with standing cat and cow, working that spine. So you're going to pull the abdominals in, rounding the spine, reaching forward, and then taking that into a back bend. Then feeling some of these muscles start to squeeze back here. And then rounding it in, using the front body to pull in the belly button towards the spine. And then moving into that little bit of a back bend extension. Again, reaching forward, pulling it in the belly, and then taking it back. And going again, reaching in, pulling it back. One more time. Alrighty, let's do some high knees. So march in place. Four, three, two, and one. From here, we're going to side bend. You tighten up your leg muscles here in the front, also squeezing your butt muscles, your glutes in the back. So all your legs are nice and tight. Your belly is starting to pull inward so that you lengthen through the spine, and then create that side stretch. So we're not just like trying to get as far as we can. We got to keep everything firm and just start to feel where the stopping point is. Maybe noticing if one side feels different than the other. It's quite common. The right side is tighter. The objective is to eventually get yourself so that you feel even amount of mobility on both sides. And then coming back to center, we're going to soften the knees. So put a little bend here. And you're going to bring yourself into a forward fold. Keep your back flat and see how low you can go. Maybe you just go here. Maybe you can go down lower. Just feeling a little bit of a stretch and opening of the back of the legs. And then use your hands to come back up. And then we're going to now stretch the front. So we're going to do a quad stretch. So grab a hold of one foot at a time. A real quick release, grab and release. Not making it too long of a stretch, just a quick little and then we're going to move into hip circles. So we're going to move the leg across the body and around, and it is as big of a circle as you can, and then you're going to alternate legs. I like to start with the one that goes in first and then finishes on the out. You're always welcome to hold on to something for balance so you can get the most out of the exercise. Let's do one more to each side. Nice. And now we're going to extend the leg. So we were working on this hip flexor here. Now we're going to kick back the leg and we're going to squeeze the glute. We're going to alternate right and left. You can hold on to something if you like, or you can take it into just kicking back without the assist. I'm going to hold on. Alternating legs. That way I can really get that butt squeeze, feeling that working. Four, three, two, and one. And now we're going to go back into the hip circle, but we're going to start from the outside in. So you're going to extend the right leg out, you're going to lift the knee out to the side and then bring it across and all the way in. Out to the side, across, circle, and around. Let's do one more on each side. Excellent. Go ahead and just give yourself a little shaky, shaky. And now we're going to start twisting. So rotating, and we're going to squeeze the abdominals. I want you to feel a tightness here. I'm not trying to turn as much as possible. I'm just turning a little bit and tightening the abs. And then rest, and then we're going to turn the other way. Turn and squeeze the abdominals. And rest. When we turn, we want to try to keep the pelvis from rotating as well, so we're going to keep it steady. Just turning at the belly button, a little contraction. I feel like my ribs, my lower ribs, are coming down and towards the side of the hip. And then rest, and just a small turn, contraction. And rest. Let's go again. One more time, just very small rotation, contracting through the abs. And rest. And last one. And rest. We're going to round down. Now remember, if you've got herniated discs, you want to be careful with how much you round, especially if it's kind of a newer injury. But we do want to be able to flex the spine. So you're going to tuck your chin, and you're going to bring your shoulders forward, and you're going to pull the belly button in. Now, if that's as far as you can go, where you know that, okay, if I go any further, I might, flare up my back, that's as far as I'd like you to go. But we're going to try to go down as far as you can go, touching your toes. Remember, the further you go down, the more I want you to pull in your belly, okay? We're really sucking it in like somebody is punching it in the gut. I like the feet about hip width distance apart with a softness in the knees so that when I do go down, I'm not overstretching my hamstrings. But I'm really going to try to round and make myself into a little turtle shell as best as I can. So tuck the chin, round the shoulders forward, pull the belly in, and you're looking for your belly button. See if you can see it. And then slowly progress. Go down only as far as you can go. But as you go, creep along and see if you can keep pulling in the belly. You're going to feel those back muscles stretch. And then slowly come back up. Real slow. Use your abs and your strong legs. Whew, when you come out of that, just give yourself a good shake around. Now we're going to start leaning back. Now I don't mean back bending. What I mean is leaning back by bending your knees. So I always pretend that if you've ever seen the movie Matrix with Keanu Reeves, right? He kind of does this leaning back, bent knee, abs come on. As soon as you kind of bend those knees, push them forward, you're going to feel you have to brace your core and then come back up. stronger your legs are, the stronger your core is, maybe the further down you can go, but this is a great starting position. You're going to feel the thighs work, the core work. And if you can hold it a little bit longer on this last one, that would be great. Arms can be out in front of you. They can be on your abs. And take a break. Shake out those legs. You should have feel that all fire up. Go ahead and do a quick quad stretch again. All right, so we're going to now come down to the floor. You're going to need light weights, your bands, and a small Pilates ball if you have that equipment. We are also going to spend some time on the knees. So if you've got a pad or a towel folded up, I'm just going to use a little rug I'm going to fold up to put underneath my knees. That's what you'll need. All right, we're going to start on hands and knees doing the bird dog pose. Now, there's a lot of different variations to the bird dog, but we're going to start with the most classic one. So you're going to start in your tabletop position with your knees underneath your hips and your hands underneath your shoulders. From here, you're going to extend your right leg behind you. You're going to tighten the thigh, locking out that knee. You're going to lift it up only as high as long as your hips can stay level. You're going to feel your abs, especially the left side of your body, really have to work here. And then take a rest. Now you've probably noticed some of the weight dumped into your right hand as well. And that's okay, because in the next variation, we're going to be lifting the hand. So let's go ahead and switch to the other side. You're going to tighten up that leg, lock it out. Keep your hips parallel to the floor. Don't let them rise. And then just lift the leg enough where you don't create a back bend. Your gaze is out in front of you on the mat. Okay, so don't look forward and don't look underneath you. Keeping the neck nice and long. And then take a rest. We're going to come up to kneeling, kneel upright. We're going to squeeze the bum, going to push the pelvis forward, and we're going to start a little lean back. You can reach the arms forward. This is called a reverse Nordic. The Nordic is actually hamstring, so you actually brace your feet, your heels, and you hinge forward, working your hamstring. But this is reverse because we're leaning back, hinging back, working the quads, and of course that core. Then come back up. Now we're going to go into the full bird dog, extending the opposite arm. Coming onto your hands and knees, right leg. I want you to squeeze it tight. Okay, keep those hips parallel. Arms are strong. Lift the leg. And now your left arm, we're going to bring it back by the hip instead of forward over your ear. So lifting the left arm, extend it back by your side, right next to your hip. Palm is facing inward. Breathe, holding here, and change. Extending your left leg, tighten it up, lock it out, lift the leg. Don't let your hip come up, keep it down. Now right arm will reach back by your hip, palm facing in. And take rest. Coming back up onto your knees, we're now going to step 1 foot forward. Pick whatever foot you like. All right, and then you're going to bring it back, coming onto your knees. The whole idea is that you're going to do this without assist of your hand, and now you're going to do the other leg, step it forward, and then step it back. Now we're going to start to sweep it out to the side, so I don't know if you were able to see, but as I go, I'm going to lean to one side. I'm going to lift the leg out to the side and around and forward, and back out to the side and around and down, starting to work the hips and the side. You're working your side obliques, you're working your QL muscles and your butt muscle to lift yourself up and out, and then back down and around. It's also a little balance work, right? Let's try another one. Slow as you can go, and you'll see that your brain starts to learn, and you might be able to go a little slower each time. And take a rest. All right, we're gonna do a quick downward facing dog just to kind of stretch out the back of the legs for a moment. So I want you to spread your fingers wide, and you're going to push mostly on the thumb and first and middle fingers, not letting yourself roll out to the outside edge of your hand. We don't want to do that. We want to stay grounded towards the center. Curl your toes and lift your hips up. Go ahead and keep your knees a little bent. You want your ears to line up with your arms. Your back as flat as possible. Now here we're going to start to pedal out a foot, bending one knee at a time. You're going to start to take the knee inward towards the center. That's going to create a little bit more stretch and twist. We're also starting to work on the arms and the shoulders. Getting ready for our next bird dog, which will be reaching forward. And let's come back down to your knees. Now here I'm going to invite you to grab your light weights if you so choose, because we're going to do the bird dog and add one weight to it. All right, so we're going to do the right leg and the left arm. So you're going to put the weight into your left hand. Extend your right leg, tighten up that knee, lift it up, don't let your hips rise. You're going to bring the left hand back by your hip. Now from here, you're going to bend the elbow like a bicep curl, and you're going to start to extend it forward, reaching out. Now, this is going to make it really challenging, so only go as far as your shoulder is capable of. And then you're going to bring it back by your hip. Straighten the arm and lock it out. Let's go again, bending the elbow and starting to reach it forward. And then bringing it back, straighten the arm and lock it out. One more time. Nice, slow, controlled movement. And then bringing it back and lock it out. And let's change sides, but first do a quick stretch. I like a little child's pose here. And let's come back to hands and knees. We're going to switch to the other side. So now the weight's going to be in your right hand. Extend your left leg, straighten, lock it out, lift it up. Bringing the right hand with the weight back by your hip. Finding that balance, straighten that arm, lock it out. And now bend the elbow and then start to extend slightly forward. Stop when it becomes a challenge. And then bring it back by the hips, straighten the arm, lock it out. Feel the back of the arm work. Got two more. Bend the elbow, reaching forward. Bring it back, lock it out. Last one. Bending the elbow, reach it forward. Bring it back and lock it out. Excellent. Ooh, come to seated. Yeah. Ooh. All right, we're gonna do a quick either easy seat, or if you can, if you're able to do the butterfly, bringing your feet together, we're just gonna do a little bit opening of the hips. And then we're gonna do seated windshield wipers. So you're gonna bring your hands back, you're gonna open up your legs and roll the legs from side to side. Now go slow and try to get both legs to come down. You can move your hand, you can move your hands to make it easier, but if you keep it back, it'll make it more challenging. So you can always come forward or take it back. Alrighty, next we're gonna go into a side plank. So there's many variations. The easiest version I think is gonna be on your hand with your knees bent. I'm gonna use my pad underneath my knees and your feet are stacked, and then you're gonna lift your hips up, okay? Now, if that bothers your wrist or you would like it more challenging, you're gonna come down onto your elbow. See if you can turn the palm upward today, strong through your shoulder. Okay, now if this is enough, but if you can lift your hips, great. When you lift your hips, you wanna feel like your body is flat as can be. And let's change. Let's try it both ways on the other side. All right, we're gonna start on your hand first. You're gonna lift your hips up. And they say this is easier mostly because of the incline, right? The more you're upright, the easier it is for your abdominals. But for me, it actually bothers my arm more. I prefer down on the elbow. So you've got to do what feels best. We're going to take it down to the elbow. Now this is harder because now we're more parallel to the floor. Palm up, hips up. Remember to flatten out and really use this side that's closest to the floor to do the work. And take rest. All right, so you're going to need, if you have a wide or a fabric loop band, we're gonna put it around the knees and we're gonna lie down on your starting side. So if you're mirroring me, you're gonna lie on your left side so that you can work your right leg. You're gonna come all the way down and use your bottom arm as a cushion for your head. We're gonna start with the feet kind of back in line with the hips versus the knees tucked forward like so. So send them back a little bit. Your knees are at a 90-degree angle. We're gonna work a clamshell here. So I want you to place your hand right around your hip with your thumb in the hip crease. Your fingers are draping around your glute. And then you're gonna open up your knee without letting yourself roll backwards. Woo, okay? So you gotta stay forward with your chest. I'm taking my chest forward towards the mat, and then I'm gonna push open the knee. And we're gonna try to keep tension on it. We're gonna do little pulses, so I'm not gonna come all the way down and take a coffee break. We're gonna push, and we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You're going to come onto your back. And we're going to bring both knees in towards the chest and then tap your feet back down. So what I want you to think of doing before you even bring those knees in is we're going to flatten the lower back by using your core muscles, pressing it down. From here, see if you can pull both of your knees in at the same time, okay? And then you're gonna tap or bring the feet back away from you and then pull back in. So we're doing little knee tuck-ins, working now the front of the abdominals. If your feet come down, that's fine as long as your back doesn't arch or you don't feel a lot of tension in your lower back. So only work to your level, both knees moving in and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we're gonna flip to the other side. So I'm gonna sit up, and now you're gonna roll onto your right side so we can do the clamshells on the other. So lying all the way down, you're gonna support your head, your feet, we're gonna line them up with the hips. So if we had a straight line, the hips and the feet are there. And we're gonna put the thumb on the hip crease, the fingers wrap around the hip, and we're gonna lift the knee, keeping your feet together, and we're gonna pulse it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. You're gonna come onto your back. We're gonna do a glute bridge, and we're gonna open up the knees with this band. So I like the feet to be a little further apart, okay, kind of wide. That way when I lift the hips up and I push the knees open, I feel like there's some resistance. If the feet are too close together, you may not get the same amount of resistance out of your band. So I widen my feet. Okay, you wanna have a strong core. Going to lift the hips up. We're gonna push the band open and lift the hips a little higher. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. Nice butt work. Go ahead and remove your band off of your legs. And make your way up to seated for a moment. We're gonna use your Pilates ball, and we're gonna place it now between the knees. And we're gonna do the heel taps or the leg lower, pull the knees in. So your ball goes between your knees and you're gonna squeeze it in, and we're gonna do those knee crunches with a little bit of a lower like we did earlier. Okay, we got 10 of these to go. We go 1, nice and slow control. 2. You guys sweating with me? I hope. 3. And 4. Woo! 5, 6, 7, make sure you're breathing. 8, 9, and 10. Nice, go ahead and windshield wiper. So wide stance and roll the knees. All right, you're gonna trade out your ball for your light weights. We're gonna come back to a side plank, and we're gonna use just one weight at this time, but we will do the second one in a little bit. So you can have your pick of either up on the arm, up on the hand, or down on the elbow. Okay, we're gonna do the palm in a fist. So no palm up, we're gonna fist, and we're gonna push that whole forearm down to give as much strength through that shoulder as you can do. You're gonna lift your hips up, and we're gonna take the weight up. Well, when we take the weight up, we're gonna also bring it forward towards the floor and as low as you can tolerate, and then you're gonna go all the way back up really slow. Now, your hips can stay down if they need to. Okay, that's option 1. Option 2 is hips are up. Option 3 is legs are straight with a staggered foot, hips are up. Okay, that's gonna make it really hard. And then stacked feet would be your advanced version doing this move. So you take it to where you need to go with your level of intensity. I'm going to actually do kind of a somewhere in between. I'm gonna stay on the bottom knee, and I'm gonna straighten the top leg, and I'm gonna lift my hips up, so I'm pushing down a little bit into this leg and this leg, using my side obliques to make kind of an in-between intermediate, okay? All right, when we do the arm, we're gonna do slow and we're gonna only do 5 of them. You ready? Let's grab your weight. Let's come up into the position that you'd like to try. And we're gonna go. Slow lower. You're gonna exhale to lift it up. 1. Slow lower. Exhale 2. Slow lower. Exhale 3. You got this. Woo! And 4. 1 more. And 5. Okay, other side. So plank position, weight if needed or if chosen, hips up, arm comes up, and we slow lower. Exhale, 1. Lower. Exhale, 2. Lower. Exhale, 3. Lower. Exhale, 4. Lower. Exhale, 5. And you are done. Coming back onto your starting side, we're going to go into the banana. So we're now working into this side flexion, and you're going to use your Pilates ball if you have it. You're just going to place it between your ankles while doing your banana pulses. So placing the ball, then you're going to lie. I like to lie on my hip on something padded, okay? And you're going to come all the way down to the shoulder. This arm, bottom arm is reaching out in front so that it gets some room. The top arm, we're going to keep it in front because I really want you to stay rolling slightly forward off of your hip bone. This way, when you lift up your head, you're going to lift up your legs, but I want you to feel like you're kicking it backwards because I want you to squeeze right back here and not work the front abdominals. I want you to feel like it's in the back muscles or maybe even slightly in the glute here. And we're going to go up and a little pulse. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. Go ahead and switch to the other side. So legs are straight. You're going to have the top hand in front, so you roll slightly forward so that you can start to lift and kick slightly back so that you're working right in your lower back and side oblique muscles for 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent work. Go ahead and give me a spinal twist. So whatever kind of twist feels good to you, that's what I'd like you to do. My preference, if you're not sure what you would like to do or what would be best, I like to roll all the way onto one side to start, kind of in a tucked in position. And then head would be the first thing I would put down onto the floor. I'm gonna try to get the back of the head to the mat and then only open up my arms if my shoulders can get down or my elbow can get down. Otherwise, you can keep your arm right on your body. So we're just trying to look for a stretch somewhere along this part of the body, which can be, some people will feel it in the leg, some people feel it in the lower back, some people feel it in the upper back. Many people feel it in the chest or the shoulder. Okay, everybody feels it a little bit differently. And then rolling back, let's switch to the other side. And be tucked in, and then head first, and then just slowly you know, just kind of, I'm kind of stopping right here. I'm not even getting my shoulder down, and that's okay. Just gonna breathe into this, trying to twist it open. And then coming back onto your side. I'm gonna come onto your back for a real quick happy baby. Grab your toes best you can. Go wide with your legs. We'll get a little stretch here. And release. You are not done with exercises. Just because we took a quick little coffee break and stretched it out doesn't mean you are done and can stop exercising. So we are going to next do a bicycle twist. Now I'm going to show you the modification first. The first modification would be to just do the upper body turning from side to side. If for whatever reason that bothers your neck, you can leave that upper body out of it and you can just do the legs, okay? If you can do all of it, you're gonna do the legs and the arms. You're gonna reach from side to side on the same leg. So if I'm pulling my left knee in, I'm gonna go to my left side and then the other to the right. You can support your head with your hands, just don't pull on your head, okay? Now, to make it more challenging, because I know that some of you say, oh, but Stephanie, you gotta give us a beastie move. You can add a loop band. You can add this around your feet. Now, around your feet is gonna make it pretty hard. I'm gonna say either a heavy band, you may even be able to do an extra heavy band. It's gonna go right around your shoelaces, right on the bottom of the foot. And you're gonna bend one knee and push the other one. And you gotta really pull that knee in and twist, okay? And then you'd switch and go slow and twist. And twist. Oh, it's so fun. And twist. And twist. And twist. Got one more each side. How about that? Yes. Woo! Excellent. Go ahead and put your band down. Take a release, windshield wiper. All right, you're gonna use your light weights. We're gonna go around the world with the weights. So make sure your elbows stay slightly bent or a lot bent, just depending on your shoulders. You're gonna reach them by your legs. Then you're gonna go out around to the side and up over your head. Now, not up over your head this way unless you know you got really strong shoulders, just up towards the ceiling, like over your forehead. And then you're gonna go back out and around and towards your hips. Go really slow here so that you know that you're not going too wide, okay? And then you're gonna add a crunch. So you're gonna start with your circle, you're gonna lift head and shoulders, and then lower head and shoulders and bring the arms back up. Now, could you leave your head and shoulders up the whole time? Why, yes, yes, you can. You can do it. You can lift your head and shoulders and do the arms the whole time. That will make it the most challenging. All right, let's do good 5 of these. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. Woo. Let's do wind removing pose. So you're gonna pull your right knee in, compress it into your abdomen, and then straighten out your left leg for a stretch. And then change. Next, we're gonna open the legs to a wide V. Here you can put your small ball underneath your tushy It just makes it a little more comfortable and can give you a little bit more range or variety in the position of your legs. Meaning, so if you put your legs straight up into the air, flex your feet open to a V, you're looking for a stretch in those inner thighs. But if I have the ball underneath, it gives me a little movement. I can move my pelvis or my feet forward and backwards, finding a sweet spot, or maybe even just a little bit of a movement through it. You can bend the knees a little bit if you like. You can straighten the legs more. By bending the knees, you're kind of going into more of a frog position, exploring that. And then bringing the legs back together, figure 4. So you're gonna cross your right ankle over the left knee, and then you're gonna bend your left knee, and you're trying to bring the whole legs in towards your chest. If you're using the ball, try not to use your hands on your legs. Just let the ball positioning help bring you in. If you need to hold on to your ball because it's gonna slide, you might need to just tuck it under a little bit more. And change, other side. And release, go ahead and take your ball off. And then last but not least, we're actually gonna come up. We're gonna go into a lunge, okay? So if you've got good knees, that's great. If you don't have good knees and can't go very low, then you're gonna wanna stand up much higher than where I will be. So you're going to bring yourself into a lunge position, and we're going to twist. So you're gonna bring your left leg forward and your left arm up. Unless you're doing the reverse, you can do your right leg forward and your right arm up, twisting towards the front leg. And then you're gonna change sides so you can come down to your knees. And extend that back leg up if you're able to, and then twisting towards the front leg. And then coming back down, doing a quick child's pose stretch. And then we've got ourselves a plank. So your last strength exercise is plank. The most easy version is on your knees and on your hands. Okay, with the knees back a little bit, the lower the hips go, the stronger your abs have to work. The next would be on your elbows and on your knees. The next would be up on your hands and off your knees. Then you can go down to the elbows and off your knees, straightening the legs. All right, so let's pick one of those, and we're gonna do a 10 count. Now, if you're more advanced, you can add a hip dip, meaning the hips will go side to side in that forearm plank, okay? Let's see what we can do for 10 counts. Land in your plank, and we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ooh. If you're able to, come down onto your stomach and create a little stretch. And why not, let's do like a Superman or a swan dive. Arms can come back by your hips or out to the side. You're gonna lift up, squeeze all those back muscles, work it all. And come down. Make your way to seated. If you're able to sit in an easy seat, that's fine. If you need to sit in a chair, that is fine as well. Easy seat, cross leg. We're gonna take a side stretch. So just reaching one arm to the side and see how far you can go down. Feeling the stretch through this side. This arm can stay here low. It can reach up. It can go behind your back. Many options here for this top arm. And then come back up and side stretch other way. And then come back up, tuck your chin to your chest and just round forward. And make your way back up. Guys, that's it for today. I hope you had a great core workout with me. We'll see you next time. Super core. I think I sweated a little bit on that one.